Hello and welcome. My name is Filipa and welcome to my channel Awkward the Talk, where I give parents the encouragement, tools, knowledge and skills to answer all your kids' awkward questions about sex, bodies, body parts, feelings, emotions and relationships. Today's topic is: what is the importance of teaching sexual education to children? And how the sexual education will change their lives. And that's exactly what it will do. It will change their lives and it will change your life as a parent, and it will change your relationship with your kid. And why is this? So going back to sexuality being not only the sexy stuff that we always think about when we talk about sexual education, that is sex and STIs and pregnancy and all of that is for the adolescent and for the grown-up. We are also talking about sexuality in the children's world. And what does that include? It includes, and this is true for any stage of life, really. It includes our relationship with ourselves, how we view ourselves, how we understand ourselves, our emotions, our feelings, our thoughts. That is our inner world, as well as our outer world, which is basically how we relate to others and our relationship with our environment and the things that happen around us, right? By sexuality, I also mean our search for well-being. So our need to fulfill our well-being and our pleasure-seeking selves. And when I say pleasure, I'm not talking just about sexual pleasure, especially in children. We're talking about pleasure in a well-being sort of way. So by pleasure, I mean, for example, sucking on your thumb, or when your kid comes to you and wants to be hugged and soothed. This is what I mean by the search of well-being that is obviously common to all humans of any age. So the question today is how sexual education will change your child's life. Basically, you will be able from a very early age to give your child the understanding and the tools to know how to have a positive body image. If you talk to your child about their bodies in a positive manner, and by positive, I mean you talk about each part of their little bodies with complimenting it, not by saying that it's pretty, but by explaining what its incredible function is and how all these functions together make up this human body that has an existence in this world. So here I would like to suggest that when you talk about the body, you don't leave some parts of it out, like the penis and the vulva and the butthole. No, you want to talk about everything with the same level of enthusiasm. So when you are bathing your child and you are telling them that these are your little hands and this is your little foot, when you are washing them and you are cleaning them, you also want to tell them that this is your vulva and this is your penis, because it is a part of the body and kids are aware that it is there, and they are also aware when parents mention every single part of the body and then skip those parts. There is a subliminal message there of these parts are not spoken of, for example, or some parents are even more negative about body parts, and a lot of adults that I work with, especially adults, were told that their genitals were dirty or smelly or not to be touched, not to be looked at, and they should be put away because they're not good. And these messages that these adults received as children has shaped their relationship with their body and their sexuality and their ability to express their sexuality in couples, for example, in their intimacy. And this is one of the negative effects, that you not being able to explain how important and how precious every single part of your child's body is. This is one of the negative effects that it can have. So if you get ahead of this and you talk about the body with excitement and you explain what every little thing is for, kids are amazed by that, and they will respect you for it. So a lot of the time parents are like, oh, they're so young, I don't want to tell them about sex. It's like, yeah, I know, but these genitals, their function is not just sex. The penis, you can explain to your child that the penis is where they pee from. When you're talking to your daughter and you're explaining the vulva to her, make sure that you're not telling her that she pees from her vagina, because she doesn't. And you explain that there is a vagina, that is one hole in their vulva where babies come out of, depending on their age, if you're bathing them up and believing they're small. And you can tell them this is where babies come out of. When you're an adult and you have a baby in your stomach, this is one of it can come out through here. And you also explain that that's where the period comes out of. And that there is this other tiny little hole called the urethra, and that is where girls pee from. And isn't it exciting? And I mean, these are explanations that you can give to kids when they're very small, and they're not going to find it weird or awkward or laugh about it, because they're just curious about their own bodies, right? The same with the anus. It's not good enough for you to just say, oh, this is dirty. You shouldn't be saying that about a body part anyway. Because, if you're bathing them, their whole bodies are dirty. What is the butthole for? Well, it's for poop to come out of. What is poop? When you eat so that you can grow up and get stronger. And then what your body doesn't absorb and take in to make you grow, it just pushes out. How? Through poop that comes out of your anus. So little things like this actually make such a big difference, because these adults that I speak to that have all these problems of shame and even sexual dysfunctions because of the way they were told about their own body parts. So body positivity is one of the big things that will change your child's relationship with themselves and with the world. And if they are able to cultivate a positive body image from a very early age, it means that when they hit those preteen years, 10, 11, when they start really doubting their body and not understanding these changes that are taking over, they are more likely to accept these changes if they know they're coming and what these changes look like, and that it's okay that they are confused about them, for example. So these are like the tiny building blocks for a healthy relationship with the body for life. And nobody tells people that the body continues changing after puberty, and we really should say that, because we have a lot of women surprised by what the body does after puberty. What else is a very big positive outcome of giving your child sexual education? Relationships. So here you will be setting the expected behavior and what is allowed, what is not allowed, which is an easier way of talking about consent. It's about what is allowed and what is not allowed. You can start introducing the word consent into your vocabulary depending on the age of your child. But the basis of it is what is allowed and what is not allowed. How I expect to be treated, how I should be treated, and what kind of treatment am I not accepting. So this is not just although it is important, you are building your child's self-confidence so that they are able to say, this is who I am, this is how I'd like to be treated, and if I'm not treated in this way, I will not accept it. I'm not saying you are supposed to be bringing up arrogant children. No, I'm saying confident children who know where their body and their emotional boundaries are. And again, if you start from an early age, then it is so much easier for them to exercise this negotiation of consent, what is allowed and what is not allowed, and what is allowed to whom, when they become teenagers and they engage in relationships and then they become adults, and the cycle goes on. But these building blocks are so crucial when they are these tiny beings, right? When you give sexual education, you're also making your own child comfortable with the topic, comfortable with you talking about it. Although, like, they will go through this stage where they're like, oh, I really don't want to hear it from my parents. But if you continue to talk to them, and if they know that they can trust you, if anything happens to them, whether it is regarding their sexuality or peer pressure, or when the kids start using drugs and drinking, they will come to you and they will know that they can trust you because you have had these conversations with them about these awkward topics, and you have made an effort to build this relationship of communication and trust with them. That is so important. So it is important that you also educate yourself so that you are giving them the tools for them to make responsible and healthy decisions about their bodies, about their environment, who they are willing to let into their lives, who they are willing to keep, the kind of treatment they're willing to accept, and what kind of treatment is not acceptable, and where to draw the line. And this is, I think, the most important thing that we are giving children when we are giving them sexual education. We're really giving them the skills and the tools to make good decisions, because you will not be there all the time. You will have to leave your children with a caretaker, or they will go to school and they will be exposed to all kinds of messages and all kinds of information. But if you give them a sexual education that is comprehensive, based on love and trust and adequate information, they know that they can trust you. And when they are exposed to things like pornography that a school friend brought in, or they see somebody being mistreated, they know that those things are not correct, and they know how to behave towards them, and they are also a lot more likely to come to you for support and for an explanation. And this is really all we can do as caretakers and caregivers, is to give good basis for our children to grow up to be confident little beings, confident medium beings, and then confident big beings. Because it is not enough to start these conversations when they're preteens. When they're preteens, all the hormones are pumping, all these emotions and feelings and mood swings, they are part of the stage. And basically just pumping them with information when they are in all this internal turmoil is not enough. It is crucial, yes, but if we can give them the building blocks from an earlier age, why shouldn't we? I mean, it is the best gift that we can give our children, is knowledge and the skills to make good decisions, especially for when we're not going to be there. So I suggest that you continue to indulge in our content and learn as much as you can, and build the confidence to answer your child's awkward questions. And if you like this this video, give us a like. If you think somebody's going to benefit from it, share it. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send me a private message if you don't want everybody else to see it. So thank you and goodbye.